We're going to kick things off to our referee, Gabriel, and get the first match of our undercard going here. Carlos Henrique, Max Hansen.
Yeah, but these guys have fought 2 other times before, but they were IBJJF rule set, so, and both were very, very close. But this is going to be different, right? So these are not advantages, points, nothing. So we will literally see who can wear each other down and submit. So Hansen very good on the leg attacks. You can see that he got under right away, used that to get on top, but left his arm behind there.
We saw a little Kimura attempt and a counter Kimura attempt by Carlos and Max. Interesting to note that Carlos has both feet taped up pretty well. So that's an old Fernando Tedere trick. He used to tape up both feet to let his opponent guess which one he actually has an injury on. Or tape the left when your right one's really hurting. So no coincidence, Max going right for the legs. And I think, you know, that was something that Carlos was saying, you know, Max, Carlos is making comments like, oh, Max just, all he knows is leg locks and stuff like that. But Max is one of the toughest grapplers. Man, this guy has been just making quite a name for himself over the last couple of years. As we mentioned, he fought on Who's Next. He's been in the Who's Number One stage before, and he has a lot of experience at the highest level. And Carlos Henrique is about as tough as it gets. He's 1-0 at Who's Number One. Both guys got experience here on the Who's Number One stage. We see a lot of entanglement, scrambling, back takes, a little bit of everything in this match so far, Sean.
Yeah, that's right. Hansen trying to get in on those legs. But right now, Carlos is countering those pretty well here.
Notice Carlos stapling down that right hand with his left hand of Max Hansen, disengaging to make space for the pass. Carlos Henrique, first place at the Pan Nogi 2023. And Max Hansen, the 2024 Pan Nogi champion, also won first place at the Enigma Invitational. Carlos Henrique just trying to flatten out those butterfly hooks now. Nice little body lock attempt there.
He's got his hands locked. Let's see if he's got it. He can tilt Hansen to the side, like get around the knee line. That's so he's keeping him flat. So it's tougher to get around the knee when someone is flat on their back when you're low on the body lock. It's going to be a little fight for that ankle grip there. Hansen trying to get underneath there, but the problem is that left underhook makes it hard to get under the legs.
Hansen inverting there. Carlos spinning out. Hansen still connecting to Carlos's lower legs.
Try a false sweep there. Anytime you see somebody with that cross hand inside the knee like that, and the feet are essentially, it looks like the guard is passed like this. He's trying to hit that false sweep or that Kane Basami, but he's got to get his feet inside. So he's got to get the legs inside to do that, underneath the arms, or otherwise there's an arm in the way.
Nice little omoplata attempt there by Carlos Henrique. Max's right arm is stuck.
Yeah, Hansen tried to step the right foot in the middle, but the problem was he actually put that hook in. He didn't want to have the right leg. Now he's trying to get it to the middle, which would be actually now a good attack. There he goes. Initially, he put it over the leg, and it actually made a nice butterfly hook for Carlos Henrique, but he's fixed it now. He's got this, essentially this double trouble position.
Max looks like he's got a nice position, or he had a nice position on that leg. Now Carlos on top once again, looking to pass.
Yeah, it's all about keeping see that leg is getting to the floor. You should put it underneath now. Put that on top of that bottom leg when the inversion happens, and it'll keep those legs safe.
We're gonna have our first judges' favor coming up in about 30 seconds. Gonna let you guys know at home who the judges are favoring in this match so far. If it were to stop at this point, doesn't necessarily being judged by rounds per se, but just kind of letting you know who's winning in the judges' opinion, as this is a submission-only match. There's no points, no advantages. We're looking for aggressiveness, submission attempts.
So And Carlos needs to clear that wrist. And he's sprawling backwards to do that. He could also just knee cut right over the top of the forearm. Instead of sprawling all the way, he can lift up his knee, that left side. I like the underhook he had. He let go of the underhook. Now that's going to potentially let Hansen underneath if he keeps both arms inside and could clear his head. Now he's gone back to...
Judges favor blue.
So interesting, the judges are favoring Carlos Henrique thus far. I think it may have been from the, the omoplata attack. He had a tight omoplata there. It's interesting. Yeah, Kimura first was his Kimura attempt, so it's definitely been chippy here. Now Max is tackling the legs. Carlos doing a great job of spinning out. Back to the standing position here. See who elects to take who down or who pulls first.
Yeah, Hansen sits. So again, that battle on that left side, on Carlos Henrique's left side, anyway. It's the right side for Hansen. He's going to try to keep his head on inside because it looks like he's just going to go upside down again. But yeah, see that left foot on that far side? If he goes upside down, the right leg's going to come out of the middle, actually. But there it comes. And that's he's trying to Kanebasami from the ground. But right now, Carlos is reading that very well and shutting it down quite well.
Yeah, Carlos's movement from the top position, entering into passing positions, disengaging when he feels danger. He's being very, very strategic in this match so far, and it's got to be frustrating for Max Hansen.
Yeah, there's the pummel on the left, but that left underhook, well, he didn't need it. He just kicked out.
You see Carlos just shaking his head saying, no, 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 you're not going to get my legs.
Yeah. Nice. Flankulant.
Yep. Seven minutes, 42 seconds left in this match.
Yeah, Carlos will push down that foot, most likely. That's blocking the knee cut. Now it's coming to the other side, like potential calf slicer, but
we were seeing a lot of movement, a lot of passing attempts here by Carlos. It's been tough for him to really stabilize a pass and establish a top position here. Or getting across Max's guard. Max is doing such a great job of just sucking him back in every single time.
he's got to solve the problem, though. Hansen has to solve the problem of that. Whatever side he's going to, he's a bit behind on the bottom arm side. That's what's keeping Carlos in the game here. Now he's got double unders. He's a little high near the knees. He's got to get down lower by the hips. Use that right knee to push the hip and wedge it, so he can try to stick Hansen up there and stay lower by the hip. The Hansen has recovered nicely.
Max now using that opening to attack the legs once again of Carlos. Looks like he's got a solid position there.
Let's see if he uses this right short hook, because Carlos is coming up heavy now, and he's got to get that knee to the floor on the left side. There it is. Now he should follow that up with an underhook.
Every time he's trying that knee cut, Max is just sticking that leg right in between and blocking his hip. Very frustrating. But man, the flexibility of Max Hansen.
Yeah, it's from, now it's Choi bar. It's from essentially the Kanebasami or false reap into the Choi bar. And again, there it is. That time he got in on the leg. He got in on the leg. Yeah, Carlos left himself a little bit vulnerable there. Hansen had a little initial entry.
Can't tell if his leg is trapped a little. Bear
It
trap
is.
on the right side there.
Yeah, it is. He's going to need to get there. He cleared the foot.
Using that to elevate Carlos Henrique is Max Hansen. Max now on the leg again.
Judges favor blue.
Carlos Henrique gets the second judge's favor here. Again, this is not rounds, but if the match ended right now, Carlos would be winning.
Yeah. And I mean, this is how the other two matches these guys both had. They were very, very close contests.
Less than 4.5 to go here. Carlos Henrique on top, trying to pass. See both guys just sweating, so it's got to be very tough to stabilize when there's just that much sweat.
Carlos trying to pull that. He's tried this a few times, to pull that leg up and slide inside underneath on his own attack there, but it leaves his leg vulnerable as well if he misses. There's another inversion, but easily defended. And now that knee will come up the middle. The right knee will come up the middle to wedge in. There it is. He'll staple that bottom leg, and that's going to let him. Now, if Carlos gets an underhook here, rather than just a crossface, he could stick Hansen, but he's not able to do that. So he got a crossface, which cleared him out. But again, Hansen right now has got to solve the problem of his right side there. Whatever side he's fallen to, if it's his left, if it's his right, he's losing the battle on that lower side. He's just a little bit behind. It starts decent, but then he gets neutralized. Bear trap. Now this is good. He's got a hip. He might be able to get to the. Yeah, that's a beautiful bear trap into a leg drag situation.
Near pass position there by Max Hansen, but Carlos recovers. Now Hansen on top trying to make some space, and there it is again. Carlos Henrique using those long legs to suck in that omoplata for the second time now. Max stepping right over.
Yeah, and Carlos needs to get the knees inside the legs so he can think about taking the back, or at least a butterfly hook, the left butterfly hook under. See how his left leg got left behind, and a potential leg attack there. So omoplata, you always have to be careful when someone steps over you. There's a potential leg attack there. You just got to be aware of it. Carlos defended it very, very well.
Carlos with another attempt there. Looked like a little flying triangle. We've had a couple of those tonight. Less than 2 minutes to go. Carlos now trying bypasses the guard finally of Max Hansen.
Hansen missed the bear trap and found himself nearly on his cross-side bottom.
Carlos diving right into the close guard of Max Hansen. He's kind of shaking his head to the outside, kind of saying, like, what am I supposed to do with this guy? You know, but I mean, Carlos has got to stay focused here because he's still 90 seconds left in this match. Max is a super strong competitor. Anything could happen here. Carlos now electing to stand and pass. Max inverting again, attacking the legs. Carlos shaking his head off, saying this is just not going to happen today.
See if he shakes the back here. It's an easy. This is that knee wedge back take. Let's see if he rolls over that left shoulder and tries. He's not going to. He's just going to spin and face the legs, untie the hands, and pummel his foot back to the middle.
Less than a minute to go. Carlos just escaping and trying to work to the back position off of the leg entanglement. Unable to do so, gets to the top position, now in a passing position, now back to the feet. Carlos daring Max Hansen to stand up here. Tries to step over into a triangle. Max got his leg entangled. Carlos shaking it off once again. 30 seconds left to go. trying to use that as an opportunity to get up. Max attacking the leg. Carlos just constantly shaking his head, saying these leg locks are just not working, man.
Yeah, no, he's done a good job of staying very well out of any real danger.
And that is it. This match will go to a decision. There, unfortunately, no submission, but we saw a plethora of submission attempts here, from leg locks to omoplatas to flying triangles and guillotines. A lot of, partial attempts, right? But, at a super high level, these guys have, it's really tough to stabilize. Let's take a look at the replay here. Hometown, Carlos Henrique against Max Hansen. Rematch from many IBJJF battles that they've had. Saw a lot of flying attempts by Carlos Henrique. Max constantly recovering, trying to snag up a leg. And just, leg attack after leg attack. But wasn't able to really have a strong leg submission attempt there. Right, so Carlos was able to escape and basically just not having it, shaking his head and just...
That's right. Carlos did such a good job just shutting everything down. As I mentioned during the course of the contest, he was just a step ahead on the most important side, and Hansen could just never get anything. He started right, but could not get into position to finish right.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is your winner by decision. In the blue corner, Carlos CH7 Henrique.
This welterweight tail of the tape. Daniel Sathler, 23 years old, 5'10", weighing 167.4 pounds. Fabio Christian, 23 years old, 5'9", weighing 169.8 pounds. Ready. All right, guys, this is going to be a barn burner. I mean, both of these guys, human highlight reels. Fabio Christian, newcomer in the black belt scene. But, man, you got to go see his performances at Ocean BJJ or his performances at the Nogi World Championship. Daniel Sathler with a beautiful double leg. And now Christian right on the attack of the legs of Sathler.
Yeah, just beautiful blast double. I mean, landed with his leg in sort of a bad position, but easily got out of that one. And yeah, we are in for fireworks. You got to watch Sathler too. He'll do some unorthodox stuff where he'll step in the middle and jump all the way over people to try to get a rolling back take off the guard. He's explosive as well. So flying arm locks. Here's a nice little Darce attempt. Yeah, but a very submission savvy young man.
I think Daniel took a little bump to the nose there.
Yeah.
But he is okay. Yeah, Sathler has a viral submission he hit at the Karate Combat pit that just went insane. He bounced off the Karate Combat wall and did a crazy flying triangle. So that's two insane submissions by Sathler in 1 year. And Fabio Christian trying to elevate Sathler from the bottom. He's got to be careful because Sathler will just fly on anything from the top position.
He's doing a good job. Yeah, see how he peeled the feet off? That was really nice. You got to watch that you don't get your back taken on exchanges like this with Sathler as well, because you got those wedging back takes that come flying out of the potential heel hook from, and so you got to watch that as well. So some nice entries and a nice way to make himself to the top, though, by Fabio.
Sathler now, he's got the leg entangled. Talk about Sathler. He's now training at Alliance San Diego. First place, the IBJJF World Championship in 2022 as a brown belt. And he also won the Pan Championship as a brown belt. And as we mentioned, he's 1-0 in WNO. Looking to become one of the top competitors here in the welterweight division. But man, he's got to watch Fabieri's back takes. Fabieri, that's what I saw at the Ocean BJJ. Every time people were attacking his legs, he just looked for that opening to attack the back. And now you see him attacking the legs of his own is Fabieri.
Yeah, he tried. He had a nice little roll through, did Fabiuri, and head position is neutral, finger fighting here.
It's been a couple minutes now, both warmed up. We saw the Sathler blast double leg early on.
Yeah, you might see a flying arm lock here in a second. I'm sure Fabiuri feels that as well. Got to be a little careful.
Wasn't a flying arm block, but he flew as...
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a nice little smash on the table here.
Yeah. Yeah, not louder than anything else, which was good. It's been a while since we've had guys run into our table.
Yeah. Last time was ADCC with Galvão Pena. We're going to take a look at that replay here. Fabiuri picked up the leg here and just foot swept Daniel Sathler. Sathler just ended up on the table there. Luckily, he's okay and he's back in there.
Yeah.
Beautiful takedown by Fabiuri. Counters that double leg entry.
Yeah, nice Uchimata. And also not only nice Uchimata, but nice way to stabilize after he threw the Uchimata. You can see Sathler try to roll through or invert, and he really couldn't get anything going off that takedown. So
it'd be interesting to see who the judges are going to be favoring here, because it's been kind of even at this point, you know.
It is.
Blast double leg, Uchimata. We saw, you know, leg attacks. We've seen a little bit of everything. Sathler now working to the back of Fabiuri. Fabiuri not having it, framing and making distance and just getting out. Sathler continuing to attack there. Man, he is a submission machine, Daniel Sathler, just going for everything.
That's on. That's in. He got deep. He had a deep bite of that foot, and that was on for a second. Cross heel hook. That was on for a moment. Now he's going to have to untie the feet, is Fabiuri. Because keeping the knee down, is not so easy in no gi. In gi, it's a little easier. No gi, it's not so easy to keep the leg down on 50-50. Some serious exchanges now.
I was going to say, like, look at the speed and pace of these guys just rotating in and out of leg entanglements here. Sathler now on a nice toe hold here, but as Sean Williams would say, if you don't bend the leg, it's kind of hard to finish a toe hold with the leg extended like that.
It's harder, yeah. And he's got to have, I was expecting him to thread his left leg through, but
red.
you could see Fabiuri did a great job that entire time of controlling Sathler's left leg. And he had 2-on-1 on the ankle, so he couldn't thread that thing over the top and then get a real bite or a back take off that toe hold.
Little uniform adjustment here. Talked about fireworks. So far this match has been the most intense, I think, you know. Probably more really tight submission attempts than we've seen in the other matches. And just at a high pace, and it hasn't stopped.
Yeah,
it's been past 5 minutes. Foot's been on the gas for both of these guys.
Yeah, it's very smooth. They're both very good at this exact same type of game here.
Daniel Sathler with that little pin pass with the foot there, a la Rotolo brothers. A shout out to the boys. Revolutionizing the no-gi game. We saw the Rose at the Rotolo team earlier on.
Yeah. Just a side Kanagatami, so good.
Sathler now on top. Cristiani trying to suck him, trying to get him over his hips.
Yeah, you'll see Sathler just pummel that left leg. If he gets elevated enough, he'll just pummel that left leg. Somebody got cut in the forehead, maybe. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Maybe it's the eyebrow. That could be the brow right there. That's gonna need some taping.
Yes, we're gonna have a little halt to the action here.
It might be the right by the eyebrow. It could have been that. I don't know if it was that last little exchange right there where he tried to pull him over the top, or.
I think that they collided heads at some point.
Yeah, watch this. He tries to pull him up and he comes down. Like, boom. Yep.
Oh yes. You know, it looked like Sathler kind of dived down a bit.
Yeah,
maybe
he got pulled and off balance probably a little bit, and he didn't tuck his chin. Just ate that one right on the eyebrow, and took the worst of that one.
So we're gonna do the tape over.
Yeah, he's gonna get the mummy wrap. It's in that position. It's almost impossible not to do that. It's right on that eyebrow. It's gonna keep bleeding. And the nose. It's a rough go right here.
Yeah, this has been a chippy match.
Fight!
Here we go. Match is resumed. Sathler just powering down there. Fabier with a flying. Looked like he had a arm trap there, just looking for that flying arm lock.
Yeah, he was trying on the flying arm lock, and you know, if he'll sit on that, he's trying to finish the single. Well, that's some heavy collar ties.
Yeah, that tape looks like it's going to be potentially interfering the vision of Daniel. Hopefully, he's, you know, it's a tough spot.
It is.
Because he's got to adjust it.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to be blind by the freaking tape in his eyes, but you know, it is what it is. We got to keep the match going here.
Yeah.
Both men back on the feet here. Sathler driving forward with the head.
Yeah, that's okay. Got good head position out of that. He went down and around and got to the neck. He didn't do anything with it, but he did have good head position in there.
A foot trip attempt there by Fabieri. Great job by our referee stopping the action.
Yeah.
Thankfully, so they don't crash into our table, Sean Williams.
Nice double.
Oh, and as I say that,
Power double into the table.
I think Sathler heard me. The tape was over his eyes, so he didn't know it was the other table.
Yeah, that power double's nice. He's setting it up really nice, kind of like just lolling. And that's a great way to set it up. You just lull your person into coming forward relaxed, and you drive your head in there at the same time. As you walk backwards, they come forward, and then you go forward. It cuts that distance down, and great way to do a power double.
Fight!
7 minutes left in this match. Sathler trying to free that collar tie. Fabieri with a nice little single leg attempt there. Takedown by Fabieri, bypasses the guard right away, looking to get to the back of Daniel Sathler. Sathler escapes.
Yep. He tried to snag an arm on the way out, but nothing doing.
Fight!
Man, every exchange these guys have had has been intense.
Yeah.
Like there's you know, we saw in other matches, we see a lot of entanglements, we see a lot of movement, but everything that these guys are doing is just with the intention of just scoring, finalizing, finishing this match with authority, every single technique.
Yeah, they're just both so good at the same things that they're neutralizing each other quite well.
Fight!
but it's fun. It's fast-paced, and when they start going, the speed is incredible. Now he's on to that last double there. So
nice single leg attempt. Oh, look at that flying leg lock attempt there by Daniel Sathler. That's probably the first time we've seen that here. Who's number one? He gets the back exposed there. Fabieri now on the back of Daniel Sathler. No risk versus no reward here.
He's got the neck.
Fabieri's got the neck. He's got the rear naked choke. He's got the hooks. Going for the body triangle.
Yeah, it's on.
And he is squeezing that. Fabieri has it locked, but Daniel Sathler is not giving up here.
That was on. I think he should have kept that and then just extended and arched and then twisted. He should have kept that fully locked. And wow,
Sathler gets out.
Let go of that fully locked rear naked and then went to a palm to palm.
Wow.
Yeah,
that was intense.
To be honest, Ricardo, I'm not too sure that when on that flying leg lock, I felt a thud. I'm thinking that Sathler hit his head pretty hard on the, because there was a moment there that looked like he's sort of, his movement just stopped there when he got his back taken. I wonder if he shook himself up there. I'll have to look at a replay of that later.
Man, this match has been a war.
Crazy.
This has been a war.
Crazy.
It didn't go as I thought it would, but it's as intense, probably even more than I ever thought it would go. So restart to the action here. And Fabieri in a great position here. Back control, body triangle, trapping the hands.
Yeah, he's doing a good job of taking away the cross hand. The cross hand, you can see Sathler trying to put the shoehorn on, but he can't. You got to have that left hand. His left hand has got to be free all the time. So
judges favor
pull the hands off, free up his left hand.
Blue.
Get that left hand back to the wrist. He's not holding the strangle arm at all. His left hand is trapped. You see it down there, and he's not winning that hand back. He's got to win that hand back, get it back up to the cross strangled wrist. Again, you see how he's not holding the strangle arm, and that strangle arm is free to go. So you might see a forearm go right across the teeth.
Daniel looks like he's trying to spin to the outside, trying to get back into the middle here. Fabieri, nice grip on his wrist there. Man, Sathler's a warrior. You know what I mean? He's smashed into the table, head's bleeding, tape on the head, can barely see at some point, trying flying leg locks. That's what people want to see here in professional grappling here, and especially here at Who's Number One.
Yeah, that defensive hand is getting that strangle arm's getting deep under the neck.
I can't tell from this angle where his right arm is on the neck. It looks like he let go trying to readjust, but Fabieri's in a great position to finish.
There he has the cross hand. You can see that he had the cross wrist. Now it's back to this 2-on-1, trying to pull it down.
Just constantly attacking the chokes here is Fabieri.
Yeah, Fabieri, let's see if he's going to lock this up. He's got to lock it behind the neck, though.
Less than 3 minutes to go here.
You might see him going an arm on this side. As time gets closer, we might see him move. If he can't get strangles, we might see him move to an arm lock on that other side. He's on the control side, which means that you can arm lock, you can try to isolate the far arm. You might
look at Sathler reaching back for that head. I saw that. I can't remember. I saw a clip go viral. It's hilarious. I hope he's not fish hooking there.
Yeah.
But trying to get that body triangle free there. Sathler at this point saying, hey, if I can't get out, I'm going to try to strangle him. I'm going to try to choke him with my hands on his mouth there. So, I mean, when you see Sathler grabbing the head, all jokes aside, like, why do you think he's doing that, Sean?
If he can untie the legs, he can spin out of this. That's not what's going on right now. I think he's a bit stifled, and he's having a hard time getting out. So he's trying to cause some stress. I think he's trying to get into Fabrio's head so he will move, which is what he's doing. I mean, he's moving.
They're forcing him to adjust the position.
Yeah, maybe go after an arm, open up, go after an arm, open the leg so that he can get out. He's very defensively sound when he's moving. So
minute 17 seconds left to go here. This was a very back and forth match in the beginning, but the last portion of this has all been Fabieri here.
Yeah. And he's just a bit high on the back, actually. I mean, that's why he's struggling with the rear naked.
Oh, and Daniel Sathler escapes.
Yeah, now he's gonna bring.
You talk about him trying to get inside the head of Sathler. Fabieri laughing right in his face, and you know, here we go.
Yeah, he's gonna go guns blazing, I think, for the last minute.
I think this is going to be 60 seconds of fury.
It is.
Sathler is pissed, and he wants this.
Keep your hands active, Daniel. Keep them guessing the hand fight. Right hands active.
Sathler elects to sit.
We know he's got a good arm lock and good at triangle, so he's going to use this to try to get under on the leg.
Looks like he was trying to wedge his knee underneath. Look at the back take attempt there by Sathler. Almost gets to the back of Fabieri. Fabieri controlling the leg to defend that back take.
Yeah, he did a good job with that earlier of controlling that ankle so he couldn't slide that leg into position.
Oh, and look at that transition there. Sathler controlling the hips of Fabieri, almost got to the hips, and Fabieri spun out. Now Sathler back on the leg trying to get to the top position and jumps over at the final second. Man, this has been 15 minutes of fury.
Yeah.
What a match. Crowd is cheering here. That was awesome.
Yeah,
we had a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
We saw takedowns, we saw doubles, we saw throws, we saw flying leg locks. When's the last time you saw a flying leg lock, Sean Williams? But man, this was intense. Let's take a look at the replay here. What a debut for Fabieri Christian, and what a great match by Daniel Sathler. Once again, we saw a little bit of leg attacks, a lot of spinning and rotating.
Yeah, both guys exceptionally good on these inversions and rotations and back take attempts. There's one going into the table.
Yeah. Look at that beautiful counter takedown by Fabieri. And man, Sathler, every submission attempt he had was vicious.
Yep, that was deep. Got some blood. We had it all in this one.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's that power double into the table.
Yeah, almost smashed right into our announcer, Jeff Houston there. Fabieri was able to get to the back at one point.
Here's
beautiful rest. There it is, that flying leg lock by Sathler.
Yeah.
That was crazy. I thought he was going to finish the single. And then Fabieri got to the back. Almost had the rear naked choke.
Yeah, bridged a little bit late. He extended his hips after he went from full lock to palm, a little bit late there.
Man, this match had everything.
It did.
And then at the final seconds, Daniel Sathler with the flying guard pass attempt. A little bit of showmanship. Great match. And that's what you can expect here at Who's Number One.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we go to the decision, let's hear it one time for these welterweight warriors. Here is your winner by way of decision. In the blue corner, Fabieri Christian.
Fabieri Christian is your winner in his Who's Number One debut. He actually had other opponents that he was supposed to face here. He was supposed to originally have Andrew Tackett, but Tackett had to pull out. Sathler stepped up, and this was an amazing, amazing match. All right, let's take a look at this featherweight tale of the tape. Helena Crevar, 17 years old, 5'6", weighed in at 146 pounds. Leilani Bernales, 24 years old, 5'6", 145 pounds.
Fight!
All right, here we go. Leilani Bernales says she wants to take a new approach in dealing with Helena, not afraid of her leg attacks. Helena loves the Who's Number One rule set. You know, no points, no advantages, just submission, and that's what her game is all about. So it'll be interesting to see what this new approach Leilani has to execute against Helena. This is Atos versus New Wave all over again here at WNO 25.
Well, Helena's just such a talent and always improving too. So you got to always remember, like, okay, yeah, maybe she had a lot of legs. Now she may be wrestled up. You may watch a leg into a wrestle up. She's improving all the time. She's a very, very young athlete. So, but as I mentioned, the latest footage I watched of Leilani looked like she was doing a great job of staying out of a lot of leg entanglements with good pummeling, good positioning. And now that the 2-on-1 to the arm drag.
Yeah, Helena has just been tearing up the scene, winning countless competitions. And as you mentioned, her leg attacks, you know, one of her most deadliest weapons.
Yeah.
You know, and you know what? I'll be honest, it's been tough to get her matches. A lot of black belts and, you know, world champion black belts are saying no. They're saying, you know, all right, I'm not fighting a purple belt, this young girl, because, you know, for whatever reason. But it's been tough to get Helena matches against some of the top black belts. But guess who stepped up? Leilani Bernales, and she's doing pretty good so far. She's fending off all of Helena's inversions, attacks, grips, connections. She's in it to win it.
Yeah, so far. She nearly had a leg out of position there a moment ago, but so recovered well. We'll see if Helena scoops that ankle on that right side. Trying to Kimura, which is a good attack from this position too, because if she throws her left leg over to the hip, she can bring that out, and she's got leg attacks off of the Kimura. So if Leilani's head moves up, that means the legs brace, and it's easier to get underneath on the leg. Yeah, that's actually pretty good.
Yeah, she bent the arm there, and Leilani's standing up, and kind of a good defense there by Leilani.
Yeah, but she's not out of danger yet. So the more she stands up, the more the leg play comes into effect. You know, you start to stand up and brace your legs, your leg becomes like a pull on the ground, so it's even easier for Helena to pull herself to a weighted leg. So
Leilani Bernales, Nogi World Champion, Nogi Pan Am Champion, as you mentioned, WNO debut, and it would be a big win in her career to derail the train that Helena Crevar has been making in her career. But Helena, look at the flexibility of Helena, just able to recover guard and chain submission attacks again and again.
Yeah, so now see, she stood up. If that arm starts to lose, she'll just wrap her leg around that posted leg. She hung on there quite long, actually. But there's that left leg wraps around, and now she's trying to get in. She'll bring her left knee inside, probably that far leg underneath.
Oh, nice little step out there by Leilani. Almost bypassed past the guard, but Helena recovers and sweeps her hips to the mat.
She got her foot sucked into the inside there. That was tight momentarily. You could see her reaction. That straight foot lock was tight for a moment. Now she's in pretty tight here. I cannot see her far arm. No, she's getting off balance. That's not what you want. Still stuck in the Aoki style. If that heel slips up, she's a little stuck. She's got to shove her leg through, actually, and put some weight on it.
What a frustrating game to fight off, you know, when somebody's attacking your legs just constantly over and over. But what's more frustrating is Helena able to change into arm attacks, invert, go back to the legs just over and over again, just chaining submission attempts. Now she's got a nice leg on top. Almost had a triangle attempt there for a sec. Leilani doing a great job standing to escape. All right, so Helena Crevar up in the first judge's favor. She's now back on another Kimura attempt there from the bottom.
And this is, yeah, the left foot there to the hip is a big help. She can start to push a little bit and bring the wrist and elbow closer to her chest. And that can pull Leilani's left arm out of good position. Right now, it looks like she's in good position. She should be holding the bottom leg with her left hand. Looks like she is. She's holding her own arm, trying to pull it into the bottom leg, so. Yeah, she's got to pull her own hand in, keep it shelved on the bottom leg. It's a good, great defense.
Outside.
There's the scoop of the ankle that I was suggesting earlier. The right hand trying to get a little bit of an angle towards the backside. Leilani with the right foot in the middle, trying to keep Helena's left leg from cutting underneath that. So Leilani still has a right leg on the inside, but she's getting it slowly pulled out there. As you see that right foot is hooked on that far leg. That's what she needs to stay. She needs to stay on that and even use her other leg to help if she needs to. But that's keeping her in good position right now. If that foot gets popped out of there, then you see straight foot lock. She has an outside attack.
This is probably the longest anyone's been, going with Helena outside of ADCC, right? Helena is just known for just going out there winning in a matter of minutes with leg attacks especially. But Leilani is definitely sticking to her game plan. She's defending all the attacks. You see her trapping the legs now, trying to bypass, trying to step over the head for a sec there. But man, Helena is just using that flexibility, inverting constantly, now recovering, using the reverse del Hiva to make some space, get to the inversion, to look to the back. Just a beautiful display of jiu-jitsu from the bottom position from Helena Crevar.
Yes, if she threads the left foot behind as a reverse butterfly and then can start thinking about coming up. Right now you can see Leilani holding that foot out to the side to help stop that pummel. There's the pummel. Now she could get the hips. She could start lifting those feet out. She should stay on the ankles a little bit longer. I think it's a good idea to go ground the hands with the ankles first, and then you can start thinking about coming up to the hip. But
see Andre Galvao in the corner of Leilani Bernales, who trains out of Atos in Florida, I believe. Training with Lucas Lira, Maggie Gundati. Bernales.
Arm locks.
Oh, she's got to be careful on that right arm.
She does. She got that knee in the middle, which was nice.
Back to the close guard. Something we don't see too much of these days anymore, especially in no-gi.
Close guard is great, though. Yeah, it's a good way, even for leg lockers. I mean, it's a great way to get under the leg. If someone stands up to pass the guard, you get under there in a second. But she's dragging the arm to the side and doing some nice work here. See if she can get her knees up over that left leg, up over that far shoulder. You get a top lock. See if she can get her guard a little bit more of an angle, lock up that far shoulder there.
So she's doing that 2-on-1 arm drag to the right, but Leilani's left foot's up.
Penalty for blue.
What do you do when that happens? When you're trying to work to the back, but the opposite side foot is up? What happens there?
Leilani, I think, was trying to make sure she didn't get foot locked, like she get so that Helena couldn't get underneath or scoop that leg. See, she's going to get onto the top now. So, little lumberjack sweep, actually, right to the top. And then she's body locked now. She's getting around the knees. And she's going to walk over, should be walking to her left now. And walking over the guard, which is, and then that butterfly hook gets weak. She didn't walk over the guard, so then she was able to get lifted out there.
Now Helena in a passing position there. Leilani doing a nice job on the right side with that leg trap. Helena putting pressure on that leg down, using the knee to pressure down, using movement to the side. Leilani pushing and making space. Now back to the top, back to the feet. Helena elects to sit and looking for the back position there once again. And it's got to be so tough. It's so frustrating trying to pass a guard that flexible.
I think it's hard to risk what you need to do to pass. Not, she's defending well, but then her leg's now on the outside. So Helena's got an outside leg position. She's got a lot of work to do, but she's got a potential attack. Let's see how she can push Leilani away, because if Leilani can pass both feet to the outside and stay heavy, then it can be a problem. Helena's going into this bear trap situation. I would love her to go under the leg and go hug the hip. She's bear trapping her, so she's got a potential calf slicer. She's got to get up on the body, though, instead of staying on the hips. If she can go get her neck, the head and arm, that's trouble. But you can see already she's starting to make an angle now.
Pop the grip. Pop it. Have to pop. Yeah, there you go. Get up. Pop the grip. Don't let her connect the hands. There you go. Push.
So Helena was able to get to the top with the bear trap there.
Helena Crevar, top position. 3 minutes left in this match. Leilani Bernales on the bottom, trying to make space.
Keep away. Don't let her connect the hands, okay? Keep her hands far from each other.
Trying to get underneath the hips of Helena Crevar is Leilani.
There you go. Nice.
Nice little roll attempt to the back there by Crevar. Ends up back on the leg.
Yep, going and rolling under the parabolo. See if she can get that back. She can get to the back off this position. Oh, she'll get to the top, but
2 minutes left in this match. Helena Crevar trying to smash through the guard of Leilani Bernales. Leilani still in it, trying to make space. And Helena passing is not something we normally see in her matches. She's just so she's so successful from the bottom position, attacking legs. More often than not, we see her in that leg entanglement from the bottom or getting a submission at some point. But interesting to see her development, her well-rounded development, training with the likes of under the likes of John Danner and the New Wave team in Austin, Texas. She's developing a very competent top game. We see that now. We saw it at ADCC. And, 17 years old.
Yeah.
Imagine her in 10 years.
Yeah, it's a necessary step now because people know she likes the legs, but she can sweep with the legs. So now it's necessary to, use the leg entanglements to get to the top and now produce a very strong passing game. It's a step that she's going to have to go through in her career, and that looks like the move that she's doing. And it's just a natural progression. When you can start sweeping people, now your passing starts to get good.
Less than a minute to go here. Crevar attacking the foot once again. Leilani Bernales trying to counterattack the leg. With her arm inside, trying to kind of, prohibit the torque of Helena's leg entanglement there.
Yeah, she tried to keep that leg, I would think, on the outside. Now that's gonna, it's still got some work to do. Helena to tuck that right elbow in, get a little bit better angle of her forearm, and then she'll have a little more pressure. She might switch it to a reverse figure four, but she's short on time now.
Helena going all in on that final leg entanglement. 2 seconds left. That is it. This match will go to a judge's decision. Now, Leilani came to this event saying she had a strategy to really defeat Helena Crevar. She definitely showed that strategy. And I think in the first part of the match, but as the match progressed, I think she was starting, to fade a little bit in her, being attacking on that strategy. And I think it was all Helena from that point on.
Yeah, she certainly had her defense on point, but then there's a whole nother level of defending, and then you got to take the risk to get in there, especially when you have a good guard like this. Helena's got a great guard. See that Kimura attempt early. She was in that a few different times, although it didn't really work out to anything significant, but she was stuck in that a little bit. There you can see another attempt. But yeah, Leilani really she got a great defense, probably built a lot of confidence in her in this match, but really couldn't get anything going offensively. So, but again, good. I'm sure it's a good experience for both. Helena got to work on trying to pass quite a bit when she'd sweep, so very nice technical contest.
All right, we're going to kick things over to Gabrielle for the final decision here.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is your winner by decision. In the red corner, Helena Crevar.
Helena Crevar is victorious and is now 3-0 at WNO. Battle of the big boys. Felipe Pena, 6'2", 33 years old, weighed in at 234 pounds. Declan Moody, 27 years old, 6'2", weighed in at 226 pounds. Here we go. Man, they were itching to start. They started before the referee said go.
Yeah.
But here we go.
Yeah, I think Declan needs to be careful that he doesn't get off too slow or be put down. Felipe is can put you down if you're not paying attention here. And but Felipe, his game is just, he creates these entanglements with the legs and then capitalizes off that. Declan, his passing really is looking good. He uses the near side underhook very, very, very well. So Felipe cannot be lazy on the bottom at all.
Yeah, Declan Moody has declared that he can pass any guard, but he's going to have to be really sharp to pass Felipe's guard, who has one of the best in the business. Felipe, you talk about Pena, he's beaten some of the best. This is a guy that's beaten Marcus Almeida Buchecha at ADCC. Yeah. He's defeated Gordon Ryan, a couple times earlier in his career. He's beaten the best. He's competed against the best. And the thing about Pena, he's been around for quite a long time. He's been fighting at the highest level since like 2013, 2014, and he keeps evolving.
Absolutely.
I saw an improved wrestling from Felipe Pena at ADCC. You talk about just overall his defense. There was a point in one of his matches he was dead to rights, and he escaped the back. It was a Luke Griffith match where I thought Luke Griffith had him, but he was able to escape, turn things around, and won the match. Yeah. So, Pena's got a lot of experience, and he said it's the volume of experience that he has in his career that's going to really pay dividends in this match with Declan. But, man, Declan is taking it to Pena right now.
He's putting the pressure forward, and that's if he just stays consistent with that, it can be very, very tiring. Pena's guard is exceptionally good. He's got a good frame here. He's got the right hand on the wrist, that knee shield, three-quarter guard here with that left leg. But yeah, look at Moody getting in there, and it's going to be about the left side. So right side for Pena, left side for Moody. If they stay on this side, it's all about the lower side for both these guys. Declan's going to want to get that left side underhook or move over to the other side if he feels like potentially Felipe's guard is too good on this side. He can leg pummel over and start essentially move that like that, moving to the other side. And then Felipe has to keep control of that wrist on that bottom side.
Pena in the bottom, decked out in the gray tatami outfit there. Shout out to Tatami, one of our newest sponsors here at WNO. Declan Moody on top, trying to pass to the left side. You know, Declan Moody training at the B team. Talk about a stacked training room. He's got Nicky Rod, Craig Jones, J Rod, just a whole room full of killers there at B team in Austin. Moved to Austin recently. And Felipe Pena, you know, he teaches at his academy, the Felipe Pena Academy in Minas Gerais. And, you know, he's bringing in guys to teach him wrestling. He travels around. He brought in Pedro Mourinho to train specifically for this WNO. So, you know, even though he's, you know, splitting the time between being an instructor, he's staying at the highest level of being an athlete as well. And we saw that surely at ADCC. And we've seen him at other Who's Number One matches, big wins, you know, over Heisen Rita, Rafael Lovato, Nicky Rod, you know, even he's at war with Nicky Rod in the past there.
Now Moody's going to see him digging that underhook. He's going to try to dig that underhook. That's a big deal here. Trying to dig that near side underhook. And that's what Felipe, that's what I mean. It's just like, man, he'll shove you in the chest and it'll be up. You can't really, and here's where he's good at all these leg entanglements. But like that little kick to the chest, push to the chest, it comes out of nowhere. I mean, it came out of nowhere, the first one. It was just something he just a boop, and all of a sudden, like, wow, he's nearly up. So 50-50 for Felipe. We've seen him do very well in 50-50 situations. Let's see if he'll move into threading the right leg over. He's trying to get a heel hook. Is Felipe. Declan trying to get the knee free, doing the right thing. Now he's got a wedge in on the other leg, which is good. Trying to attack his own leg. Potentially pummel his right leg in. You can see that Felipe's already getting up. Yep. Again, he's very, very good at creating those things. Gotta watch a heel hook though now. He's gotta watch. Declan's inside. There he's out.
Felipe's got this unique way of dealing with leg entanglements and leg lock attempts. I've noticed that several of his matches, he kind of shuts down the hip, hugging the hip sometimes, and he just knows how to frustrate the people on bottom, looks for openings, and then, you know, just counterattacks. He's just very, very high level mat IQ. Moody got that 50-50. Now switching for that deep, trying to get underneath, kind of bypassing the hips there.
To a front headlock here.
Pena's got a nice grip there on the head.
Trying to roll Declan. Now it's arm and guillotine.
Yeah,
that looks
Pena's
tight.
got a nasty guillotine.
He does.
Can he submit Declan Moody?
tight.
And gets the submission. Felipe Pena wins by submission here at WNO 25 over Declan Moody. What a beautiful way to finish the match. Man, Declan Moody was taking it to Pena.
Yeah.
Pena got that guillotine, and he's calling for a title shot right now.
Yeah, he looked really good. I mean, that guillotine, he got up, he tried to roll Declan Moody through with the front headlock into a Dars. He stayed up and then switched it immediately to an arm and guillotine because the neck was open, and then went right onto the mount. A beautiful, beautiful 1-2 combination.
Let's take a look at that replay there. Man, Declan Moody coming out looking super confident.
Came out hard.
Props to him. He did very good in this match. He was taking it to Pena, coming out aggressive. Pena rallied, made space with some pushing of the, you know, and then got it to the top position there. Look for that front headlock, switched to the guillotine. Once he wrapped those legs around, it was over, and he gets the submission. Beautiful job by Felipe Pena. There it is again, right? Drops for that guillotine, shoots a leg over, and gets the win. Congratulations, Felipe Pena. Awesome victory here.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is your winner by submission, Felipe Pena.
All right, let's let's take a look at this strawweight tail of the tape. Adele Fornerino, 25 years old, 5'3", weighed in at 114.6 pounds. Sofia Casella, 24 years old, 5'1", weighed in at 113.6 pounds.
Follow my order at all times. Don't stop until I tell you to stop. If we go out of bounds or something like that, has to have a fair fight. They go to shake hands, you step all the way back.
All right,
away from
words from our official, Gabrielle, and here we go. No coincidence, both sitting immediately, looking to attack the legs. Sofia Casella, as I mentioned before, had one of the fastest submissions in WNO over Jesse Crane, 35 seconds. Adele Fornerino, 22 seconds against Amanda Tubby at WNO 2022 or WNO 22. So no coincidence, they're both looking to attack the legs earlier on here.
Yeah, both are very good at leg attacks. But Adele, I think Adele, I would give her a slight advantage of submissions just out of everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean,
but one thing that really impresses me about Adele is, as you said, submissions on anywhere. She's got a crazy good close guard too. We saw that in ADCC. She submitted Bianca Basilio with a mirror lock. Who does that? Who submits Bianca Basilio? Not many people have done that. Adele Fornerino did that.
Yeah.
And Sofia Casella, a gamer, training in Alliance Jiu-Jitsu, you know, one of the best teams in the world. She actually was she was a last-minute replacement. Alex Nguyen was supposed to be competing against Adele Fornerino for the championship. Alex withdrew about a week ago. You know, Sofia was basically in Atlanta for Thanksgiving. And luckily, the good people at Alliance Jiu-Jitsu Atlanta, my good friends out there, were taking care of her all week. And even though she was having Thanksgiving meals, she stayed on weight because she was preparing for Nogi Worlds. So she's always ready to go. We've been talking to Sofia to make her return to WNO for quite some time. And like I always said, getting on WNO, it's all about timing. It's just like Jiu-Jitsu. When the right time happens, you know, that's your cue. Just got to stay in touch, and we'll put you on the big show.
yeah, she's trying to get her leg in the middle, but she's got to watch it. See this angle on the arm looks harmless, but it's not. You start to get the wrist above the elbow, and it can create some torque and make you move in where you don't really want to move.
Stop.
Okay, referee is stopping the action here. Yeah, you know, I think that was proper. Just letting them know, hey guys, you know, we got to make some commitments here. We saw a lot of movement, but no real actual, you know, attempts.
Yeah, it's tough because there's a lot. There is a lot going on. There's a nice little pummel. She's got a foot on the outside, but there's a lot going on with the pummeling. But just because when you pummel and you're pummeling and you're pummeling, you just keep negating each other, so it looks like nothing's happening. But there's actually so much going on. Sofia with the left leg over the shin there, trying to get it to the inside. And
Really well. Keep breathing through it. Bring it up higher when you bring it.
Both seated, both looking to pummel to gain advantage of position.
she's going to thread that left leg over. She may wait. Adele might wait to thread the left leg over till she sees some more space underneath that, in between the elbow and the body. But I believe she's going to loop that leg over. Now she's on her leg attack here.
Adele's got the foot trapped. She's attacking. She's got a nice bite on that ankle. Sofia using it to get up, but Adele went belly down for a sec, rolling out.
Yeah, she's got a good bite on that ankle. Now it's getting even tighter. She's got to clear the feet as Sofia.
Gets the submission here at Who's Number One, and is now your WNO strawweight champion. Congratulations, Adele Fornerino. We saw her with the submission of the leg locks against Amanda Tubby. She brought it back here against Sofia Casella. Submission out of nowhere. You know, attacking the legs earlier on. She went for the arms, legs, arms, and, you know, no coincidence she was able to get the win here, and is the new WNO strawweight champion, Adele Fornerino, just an amazing job here once again at WNO.
Yeah, she just pulled Sophia's leg in. It could have been a little bit of that arm confusion there, but once she got it in, I mean, it was on, and Sophia was doing the right things, but that doesn't mean it's just not going to break your foot or hurt something. And Adele has a great squeeze, and she had great leg position to put real power into that.
Yeah,
so
it was.
You know, you can see early on, there's the pummel, and you can see that she's got that arm bent awkward, and then there she put that left shin in, extended that leg, and then that went really low on the Achilles. There's that, you see that inside hook in there, both legs in, creating some pressure. Now she's got a foot on the hip. So it's just one thing after the next, and Sophia could never really clear her hip to get her hip close and get that foot pushed through. It was just a shin in the way, a foot in the way, and that entire time was putting a lot of pressure on the ankle.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is your winner by submission and new Who's Number 1 Women's Strawweight Champion, Adele Fornerino.
There it is, the new women's strawweight champion of Who's Number 1. Look at this light heavyweight tail of the tape. Pedro Marino, 28 years old, 5'9", weighed in at 203 pounds. Isaac Michelle, 26 years old, 5'10", weighed in at 194.2 pounds. Guys, this should be something. This is a match that Isaac's been calling for a couple of years now.
Ready.
And he finally gets his crack, not only at Pedro, who he's wanted, but Who's Number 1 championship. Look at the swats by Pedro Marino.
Yeah, you know, this is going to be a good one. I know Isaac has picked up his wrestling with the Penn State guys, so that's good for him. Pedro, I will say though, when it's important like this, he performs. I mean, he there must be something about a title that that drives him, because he does have very good performances here defending his titles. But that was a nice little cross knee pick.
You mentioned the Penn State wrestling, Isaac Michelle. He's got Bo Nickel in his corner and John Danaher in his corner. Pedro's got Felipe Pena in his corner. This is a star-studded matchup here, as well as Lupiano. Look at Pedro now shooting for a double, then goes up to the upper body.
Yeah, both of these guys are great in very similar areas. So they use the same things, but the areas that they're good in are very similar. So,
you know, Pedro's competed countless times here at WNO. You know, big wins over guys like Craig Jones, Giancarlo Bodoni, Rafael Lovato Jr. You know, long time running WNO champion here. And Isaac holds the record of the longest match in WNO history, is the Who's Next finale. And I think it's no surprise. Both are going to be fighting for that top position, Sean. You know, both have good wrestling, as we talked about. But Pedro's guillotine is equivalent to like a knockout punch. You know, if he slaps that on, he could submit anyone. But Isaac's got those scrambles, and he's got an unorthodox submission game. So that's what makes this match so interesting.
Yeah, he can take. Isaac is very good at taking the back, and so that's one thing where he shines in this match, is if he can create an opportunity to get towards the back. He's very good there. He's pawing with that rear hand, and I think one of the keys for him is to stay with a pace. I think he needs to stay busy and to try to keep this aggression by Pedro happening, because it's a lot. It's a lot. He's very aggressive. He's snapping down, snapping hands off, and I think if Isaac can make that happen for a while, it could actually play into his favor. I think that's why the guillotine, that's why you're seeing these snag singles, sort of the single legs with not a lot of commitment and drive by Isaac to try to test the defense. Snag single's relatively safe as far as guillotine goes because it's hard to pull somebody's head down.
Is that mainly because you're upright?
Yeah, you're very upright.
You're not bent
shooting
over
down
with
to the
your head
knee.
to the
Correct.
hip, yeah.
Correct. You can run right directly at your opponent, which is, again, it's a little harder to attack the guillotine.
Man, you can, little eye poke here, accidental, but man, you can see the ear of Pedro Moreno bleeding.
Yeah,
so there's been some really, really tough collar ties in this match here.
You got it. You got it, Pedro. Yeah. Okay.
This is getting pretty chippy here. Take a look at the replay.
Oh,
accidental.
Yeah, reached out.
Yeah. And Isaac's one of these guys that it's crazy because he'll go into deep waters and then just rally back with crazy scrambles. We've seen it time and time again. Had a war with Wagner Rocha in ADCC 2022.
Yeah.
That was
my goodness,
incredible.
Yes, it was. A nice little outside trip off that collar tie.
So we see Pedro shooting for that double underhooks a couple times now. Well, why do you think that is, Sean?
I think he's trying to get either into a body lock. He's got good judo-esque takedowns, so he may be trying to get to a body lock or slide by. Just get to the hips, lock the hands, or get behind Isaac. So nice collar tie Isaac has. He's getting that. He's getting his head by the bicep. So when he's reaching out there, he's putting his head right on the bicep, and you're able to put a lot of weight into your opponent, which it looks sort of like he's a little out of position, but it's not. It's pretty good. Now we got some throat jabs going on here between the two.
Yeah, Pedro's getting pretty aggressive now.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. If Isaac can actually just eat this and keep this, make him keep this aggression.
Pedro Moreno ahead so far in the judges' favor. If I'm not mistaken, I know that I heard the referee give a penalty. I think that was for Isaac. Got 10 minutes to go here. Pedro Moreno, Isaac, Michelle for the light heavyweight championship. Who's number one? Pedro's got a very frustrating stand-up game.
Yeah, he's good. And he's like you said, he's got a good guillotine as a defense, which is tricky because it's dangerous.
Yep.
And makes you not want to shoot, makes you not want to create risks. Lightning fast duck under.
And he's got some pretty nasty foot sweeps, as we can call them.
Absolutely.
Or Muay Thai leg kicks, but one or the other. They're pretty strong. But yeah, like Isaac put a post on his social media the other day of his training partner with shin guards, just kicking his legs out, saying he was preparing for Pedro.
8:30. Pedro a little bit ahead, I believe, on some of these exchanges. He's not really getting anywhere, but he's definitely a little bit more offensive in nature. Isaac's going to need to step up his offense a little bit. I like this early collar ties to snag singles, and he's going to have to step that up just a little bit. Here, Bo Nichols say wrestle. Yeah, I think he needs to start to chain a few things, get Pedro uncomfortable. Even if it's just hopping him around on one leg, not really committing and driving through anything, but yeah, there it is. You know, just to get him on one leg and hop. I think that's, you just got to start to look for some chinks in the armor. Pedro's doing a good job of trying to do that.
Little clash of heads there. Just saw that, yeah. This is one of those matches where, you know, no one's taking each other down yet.
Nope.
But the battles that they're having just for these grips, like you guys can't see it at home, but Pedro's face looks like he's just been beaten up. You know what I mean? His eye, his ear, and these guys are some heavy collar ties.
Yeah.
And it's tough.
Yeah. Some throat jabs, some slaps. I mean, it's kind of all.
Yeah, I mean.
There we go. Nice little society attempt there by Pedro.
Penalty for blue.
Another penalty for Isaac Michel here.
I think, yeah, that's good. Pedro working really just, like trying to get an underhook here. Isaac looking like he's going to take a shot, like a power double, but Pedro's being pretty disciplined about reaching with his right arm as well. He's not really reaching when Isaac goes to tie up on that collar tie. He's not really reaching out so much. So
yeah, this has been sort of, you know, sort of a little bit of a criticism with Pedro is sometimes when we end up in matches like this where, you know, he does not want to concede top position. He doesn't want to pull guard. You know, everyone's got a different style, but sometimes we end up in these long, you know, drag him out, kind of takedown battles. Pedro is now up for a second time in the judges' favor. Again, they're not rounds, but if the match ends now. You see that little attempt there with the guillotine?
Yeah, that was, I don't know if Isaac slipped, but it was a somewhat slow shot. You're not gonna be able to shoot slow on somebody that has that kind of guillotine. You've got to mix it up, get him walking.
Less than 4.5 to go here. Isaac Michel's got to do something here if he wants to dethrone the champ in his hometown.
Yeah, he does.
Reaching for that snatch single.
Yep.
Show of respect there. After they've
After
smashed each other's faces for 10 minutes.
Yeah. There's a nice little power double again. Maybe just.
Sean, when you see that, when you see an attempt like that by Isaac with the power double, do you think that that's just him trying to get connection? Or I don't know. I'm not sure if I feel like he's really committed to. Oh, the foot sweep by Isaac Michel. Who would have thought he would have foot swept Pedro Mourinho of all people?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it doesn't look excessively committed.
Yeah,
no.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
3 minutes, 23 seconds left in this match. And Pedro's getting pretty nasty there with that.
That's been there the whole time. I guess that's I didn't.
There it is, Pedro with the foot sweep attempt, trying to use that to get to the head of Isaac Michel.
A little slap in the face.
Pedro stalking Isaac. What? Getting right in his face. 2 minutes, 30 seconds left in this match. Pedro trying to...
Stop!
'He's taking a couple pokes to the eye here today. And Isaac's taking a bunch of slaps to the head.
Slaps, throw punches.
Leg kicks. Headbutts.
Yeah.
Guys, it's been just a punch you're shoving the whole time. You slap each other's face. It's not going to win the match. Okay? You don't want to shoot. You're not shooting in the fight. I shoot. You're being aggressive on the hand fight. Guys, do something for the fans. People turning up to us to fight. Fight!
Houston is calling for Pedro.
It is. Sometimes you have this where both guys are good. On the feet, and then you get this where neither one wants to take that real risk of opening themselves up.
Pedro just got a penalty for his head, basically a headbutt.
Yeah.
He headbutt his chest.
Yeah, I mean, it was.
Minute and 20 seconds left. Both these athletes super sweaty. The mat moppers are going to have a field day after this. Pedro trying to go forward with that, just basically driving his head into the chest of Isaac Michel. And this is where we see in the final seconds, Isaac with another foot sweep attempt.
Move sides.
Fight!
50 seconds left. Here, Bo Nickel telling him, don't wait, you gotta go.
Yeah.
You gotta go. He's gotta do something here.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going through his head of just that doesn't really want to take that risk to pick the drive, but if he's put himself in a situation where he has no choice, I mean, he doesn't have to do anything, but that's not going to win.
Stop! Shot there.
Fight!
Final 15 seconds of the match there. Pedro trying another foot sweep there. Getting chippy in the final seconds here. Another show of respect, but...
This one.
4 seconds left. And that is it. This match will go to the decision. Didn't turn out the way we had hoped.
No, yeah. It's
I really thought Isaac was going to be able to take Pedro down, you know, but Pedro was just like a wall. He just shut Isaac down.
He did. And
on all of his attempts.
He just felt something that he just wasn't willing to really take the risk.
Let's take a look at the replay here. Pedro Marinho. Saw a lot of aggressive collar ties, aggressive foot sweeps, also known as kicks. And we saw head collisions. It was just a really, you know, really tough match for both these guys. Unfortunately, no one was able to score any takedowns. Not something we want to see. No real submission attempts, but it's a big battle just to kind of get people to the ground sometimes. And these guys were at war, you know.
Yeah.
Every collar tie, every clinch, every shot was lethal. It was a very aggressive match, even though not much. Essentially, you know, no takedowns happen or anything, but yeah, it was chippy.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, we're going to take a look here shortly. You see John Danaher, Bo Nickel in the corner of Isaac Michel. We're going to go to the judges.
Here's your winner by decision, and still, who's number 1 light heavyweight champion, Pedro Marinho.
Pedro Marinho, defending champion of Who's Number 1, defends his title in Houston. All right, let's take a look at this heavyweight tale of the tape. Duarte, 26 years old, 5'11", 227.6 pounds. Roberto Jimenez, 24 years old, 5'11", weighed in at 198.6 pounds. It's Jimenez versus Duarte in the main event of Who's Number 1 25. Here we go.
Fight!
Yeah, I think Cannon is really like, I think this is the best version we've ever seen him. I think he's going to keep getting better. But as I mentioned, Jimenez, I believe he's got to try to find the back movement to get around the back. And Cannon is very good here. He sets up this headquarters position. He's very, very good here. See, you'll watch as he steps over, stays over that leg, puts pressure, and then he'll get his right hand towards the hip. Once he feels comfortable, he'll start drifting that right hand up towards the hip. And once it gets up there's that battle up. That right forearm will kill the hip. The hand will go to the hip. We've seen him go to the mount here, push the knee through. He's just very solid in this position.
Yeah, Kynan said that he's even better than when he was competing at ADCC. He said he's a new and improved Kynan. You know, and talking to Kynan and booking matches, he's really made it apparent to me that he wants to take matches seriously. He wants to have a right camp. He wants to have proper time to you know, prepare for all of his matches from now on. And I think that was something that maybe led to a couple of his losses in his career previously. Maybe he underestimated some of his opponents that led to losses. But this year, we've seen Kynan 3.0, I like to say, because this is a whole other level of Kynan. And, you know, you look at Roberto. Roberto says he's coming into this match. He's got a strategy, but he's ready to improvise on the fly against Kynan. You know, Kynan is a very, very strong, methodical and you know, grappler, and once he gets that motion going, it's like a steamroller. It just kind of slowly progresses, and eventually he gets to the winning positions. If Roberto can make space and maybe try to get up, he's got to watch his neck, because Kynan's got those guillotines that he showed at ADCC. Man, who else in the world can say they submitted Cyborg twice in the same weekend with guillotines? Kynan can.
Yeah, and also this position, he's just resetting it over and over and over and over and over and over. And you'll see when kind of enters into this headquarters position, one thing that I really like that he does, he keeps his hips square. Right now they're a little turned, but his head is offset. But when you watch his hips, they're square. So when he gets that left hip a little higher, he sprawls his left leg back, so it has an illusion that he's side on, but he's not. His hip is square in. See how it squares up? And then what that does is you can only lift him up like that. You can't lift him out. When you come in and you have a square hip, square hips are heavy hips, and then that hook can't move him sideways, can only move him up and down, and he can easily reset the position over and over and over, and you're carrying his weight again and again until he gets around your knees. And we'll just see him most likely just work in this position until he gets over the knee. He's very, very good here. He's figured this position out. He'll punch that. You see that right arm working, so he'll go from throat to hip if he feels like he wants to start passing around or through, because that right arm wants to punch that underhook on that right above the hip on the right side, and that'll start letting him move through the guard. So the hand on the neck or the shoulder keeps Roberto flat. The underhook starts to move him through. We saw him earlier just like try to push the knee to the mount. He did that very well on Declan Moody in the ADCC, amongst a few others, but he just pushes that knee down. He puts pressure, then he relieves pressure and shoves the knee down, and all of a sudden he's like nearly mounted. So there you go. He's moving in. It's an exhausting battle. If you're on the bottom, you just have to keep carrying this person's weight over and over.
And this is not good for Roberto, right? This is not allowing him to, as you said, like, you know, the path to victory for Roberto is potentially to the back. It's going to be very hard to get to the back in these positions. Kind of knows that. He's shutting down all access to the back. As you said, using that headquarters passing game just to smush Roberto's guard. And that's going to pay dividends when it starts to get later in the match. Yeah. Roberto's core is going to be just burned.
There he's in. He got that left underhook. He got around the knee, and he's in. And this is where, if he stays, Roberto was able to clear him out. Roberto is very good, is an athlete, very strong, so he cleared him out this time. But we'll see how this plays out as time goes on. And if he gets in again, we'll just see if he can keep clearing him out. It's very, very tiring. If Roberto needs to find a way to get under the legs. And you can see now kind of his hip is turned, but look how offset his head is. So he can't be lifted over to his right. You can't have your head overhead if your hip is turned, but as soon as the hip gets square, there he's almost mounted. When your hip gets square, you can start bringing your head overhead. You can start to work to come down tighter. Roberto can't really find any way to invert because he's killing the right side off with that butterfly hook, and basically making Roberto do the splits essentially, so he can either keep the leg wide and then shove it in to smash, but like Roberto is not able to do any sort of inversion to create moves to the back.
Kind of just trying to smash that guard of Roberto. You know, as we mentioned, it's got a wear and tear on that core. But Roberto is, man, never underestimate this kid.
No, you cannot. You're right about that. He's just he can create things out of nowhere, and he's very fast. He's very, very talented. There's the underhook now. The right hand's trying to punch through for kind of look. See that right hand working. Roberto trying to keep him away. He's going to spin out. He's trying to keep some space, but you'll see him start messing with the knee. Most likely, will kind of is messing with that knee that's in his way, and he can push it down, push it over, or he can go through it. And the knee, even if the knee is wide, he can go through that with underhooks. And you can see him dominating that right leg and picking it up. Trying to hip switch by Roberto, trying to get movement going. Like for, see it kind of picking that foot up. That's to stop the inversion. When you pick the foot up, it changes the angle of the leg, and then it just can't. You can't get your leg back under there. If you roll over all the way inverted, you can, but that's not. He's not letting that happen. Now he's in a body lock.
Yeah, this is potentially the beginning of the end here. Once he's got that body lock wrap there. Roberto's got a nice little underhook on the right side.
That's good actually for Roberto. I mean, it's hard to body lock. Now, I mean, Kane, I've seen him do it with double overs like this. It can be a difficult thing because it's hard to get around the knees when they're up like this. And this is what Roberto needs. He needs to lock his closed guard. He's really good at getting from the back with underhooks from closed guard. Let's see if he can get his right leg out. That's one of his strongest positions, I feel like. Close guard, double underhooks, and he can take the back.
See Andre Galvao in the corner of Kainan Duarte. He's a long-time coach and training partner.
Kainan's in good shape. He can squeeze the elbows down a little. He can even pummel back through and score an underhook with the right side and then have an arm in body lock. But because the way he's holding Roberto's sort of suspended off of Kainan, so it's going to be a little bit difficult for him to get to the back. But I don't believe that Kainan should stay here either. He's going to err. So Roberto had to let go. There's that push, right? Push down, went to a knee cut.
Switches to the opposite side there. Roberto trying to get a little elevation here, make some space with Kainan. Man, it's just like every time Roberto gets some space and elevation, Kainan just shuts it down and goes to the opposite side.
Gets right back into this position, which Harry's actually got that.
So this is interesting. This is where Roberto has a window of opportunity for the first time in the match. He's got the leg, but he's got that entanglement. Could have access to the back, made a little space, but Kainan's going right back to that position to shut him down.
There's the punching there. That's a good position for Kainan. He's going to pass for sure.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, that's it. Mounting, and the arm has already walked halfway up for Katakatami now.
Oh, he's got that right arm underhook. He's going to crawl that arm up above his head, and he's going to look to get that Katakatami or head and arm choke. But man, they're so slippery at this point. I could see Roberto getting out of that potentially.
Actually, he must like the other side better because he let that go.
Now I'm gonna call it here. Kainan's been showing this mounted triangle sequence, and with the position that he has that arm entangled, Sean, you think we could see that happen?
Oh, you could absolutely see any sort of high S-mount guard from the Katakatami. You have the arm way up. Katakatami just happens to be one of the safest techniques from here because even if the person counters, you're really still in good position. You get gift wrap off of it. You just re-walk the arm up. When you move into the S-mount, you do risk your opponent getting out. You've now relinquished a lot of the power of the pin that you have right here, that he has right here. So if he just holds this position, I think he could be right.
See Murilo Santana in the corner of Roberto Jimenez. Roberto went over the Unity Jiu-Jitsu to train for this match. with those monsters at Unity, Sebastian Rodriguez, you know, under the watchful eye of Murilo Santana, tons of other top talent, leg lock master Junio Ocasio, who's been on Who's Number One. Just a stacked training room there in New York.
Yeah, you could be right. I mean, kind of could straighten the left arm, post the hand over the head and straighten his left arm. Push on the floor, straighten that, and it pushes the elbow much closer to the head. And you can catch it. He can catch that Katagatame and kind of pass off to his cheek. Kind of. Brings out. And he's going to get up. Good job. Good job bridging out of that mount.
The thing with Roberto is there's no quit.
No.
And he can, as we talked about this earlier, he can get to the back in a split second. He just needs that window, but kind of shut down every window of opportunity for Roberto today. All right, here we go, back to the standing position here.
He's gonna try his luck on the feet now, I think. Again, you can get singles to back takes, duck unders, arm drags, side buys. Any type of underhook could give him access to the back. Kind of usually is more calculated in his wrestling, single legs, etc.
A single leg attempted by Roberto, trying to finish it. Guillotine there for a sec. Post on Roberto's head to stand up.
Yeah, 1 minute. I like that shot by Roberto. A nice little shot there.
And he got kind of down.
He did. And he got out of the guillotine, which means that, you know, he probably could do it again. Maybe the grip was a little slow, whatnot, but kind of does have a nasty arm and guillotine.
Yeah. Here Roberto's corner saying he's getting tired, and Roberto's trying to put up the pace here, but he's got 56 seconds. Man, if he could pull this off, this would be one of the biggest moments, not only in his career, but in WNO history.
Yeah. Well, it's all, Roberto is, he's the one who's going to have to go here. I mean, it's his match to try to win or lose. It's
trying to swat that single leg finish there.
Yeah.
But trying to swat Kynan down is very, very tough.
And Kynan uses the same tactic. He uses the same technique, so it's 20 seconds.
Kynan just got a penalty. Played it safe here. Roberto with another single leg, trying to finish strong. Gets to the back of Kynan Duarte. Roberto Jimenez takes Kynan down, and he's trying to finish this. He's got 2 seconds, and that is it.
Hey, you saw a little glimpse of...
Yes, we saw a glimpse of what could have been.
Yeah, kind of.
Great job by Roberto Jimenez in the closing minute of the match. You know, kind of dominated the majority of that match, but I think, you know, Roberto, if he had the chance to pull the trigger on that earlier on, I wonder how different this match could have been. Let's take a look at the replay for tonight. You see the Natural Rebel coming through the smoke here. You see Kynan just stalking his opponent here, shutting down his guard. Just doing a great job of just being that brick wall and not giving Roberto an opening or an inch. Changing directions, just attacking that core at all costs. And you saw an earlier attempt, you know, leg attempt, entanglement, almost to the back there for a split second, but Kynan was able to eventually escape, progress to mount for a good portion of the match where he was very dominant. Roberto was able to escape Nice, beautiful escape. You got to give Roberto credit there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, especially against Kynan. Not many people can say they've done that. Closing minutes of the match, Roberto came out aggressive and almost got to the back of Kynan Duarte. Kynan spun out and went for that arm in guillotine in the end. But very tough match by both competitors.
Yeah. Great technical match.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to pass it over to our official for the official announcement and winner here in this main event.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is your winner by decision. Out of the red corner, Kynan Duarte.
And Kynan Duarte is your winner. The reigning ADCC gold medalist wins here in the main event of Who's Number One.